Hello, everybody, and welcome to Maximum Libertarian. I am Brian, and if this is your first time being here, please go down to the subscribe button, click it, hit the notification bell, and what can they do, Dean?
Smash that like button.
And what should they do with this video? They should share it. You know it. Share this video. Please, as you can see, it's going across. Follow us on Twitter at We Are Maximum Libertarian. We are Max Lib. So I guess we just got done watching the Super Bowl. What was that, 51, 55? Well, whatever it was.
Whatever.
Hey, look, all I'm going to say is we were just talking about Tom Brady. I personally like Tom Brady. I like when there's winners. I like just out crazy, because I mean, here's this guy who goes down to a team he's 43. He's supposed to be done, and Belichick was supposed to be the man that was going to lead this great Patriot team to another title, and Brady was going to be shown the door because he's old and should retire. But it's a vice versa. What did you think of the game, Dean?
He has two thumbs and one pinky left. That's it. That's all he has to get, and he wants to play to at least 45, so he has a chance of getting two. And if the next 2 years he gets them, he ain't going to quit till he gets that 10th ring. So
if he plays,
I used to not be a big fan of Tom Brady. I didn't ever like the Patriots. That's my brother's team, obviously. And but I did make a statement at the beginning of the season that anybody can vouch in my house on was the Patriots won't make the playoffs, but Tom Brady will make the Super Bowl and potentially win it. And guess what? That came true.
Well, since they had played the Kansas City Chiefs in the other game earlier in the season, I thought they were going to lose again because I believe they lost the first time to the Chiefs. Correct? They lost pretty good.
I have a feeling that Browns would have been a better selection for a team for the Patriots to play tonight. To be truthful.
Well, I'm glad Tom Brady won, and. Yeah, that's about it on my football talk. You know what? I should rename this video because I put on here, Democrats buy your votes, and they buy votes with $1,400 in the stimulus check. We're going to talk about the stimulus check. It's going to be coming. I have never seen a outgoing president sink his party like President Trump did to the Republicans who were going in and going to have a special election in January. And what did he do? He immediately gave the Democrats an option to win the special elections by saying, as soon as his men who had decided and had agreed to this deal for $600 stimulus, and we are not discussing if it's right or wrong, because I'll tell you right now, it's wrong because we're printing too much money. We're about to flip over if we haven't already flipped over and we just don't know it yet.
I actually had a conversation last night with my brother's wife's dad, and we were talking about the dollar and how it doesn't mean nothing. There's no gold to the dollar like there used to be, and it's a true statement.
Right.
And with the stimulus, I mean, Trump wanted to do it too, but he basically punted the ball to the Democrats. And
by doing that, though,
let him get a touchdown.
Absolutely, because by what he did, he knew that Mitch McConnell was not going to pass it. It wasn't going to pass in the Senate because now that we have a president from a Democrat, we've got to be, fiscally conservative, constitutional conservatives, as they like to bounce around saying. But in reality,
there ain't them left.
Well, absolutely. And see now, but they get to pretend that they are now. And by when Donald Trump came out and did that, I couldn't believe it. It was almost if he didn't try to sink his party, I'm shocked by this because he knew exactly what was in that bill. But now,
the Republicans are a broken party, more broken than they've ever been. Really, they
Well,
are
the Democrats are
destroyed.
too, but the
Well, the
Democrats are
Democrats, yeah,
too because
because
if
you
you
have the
look,
socialist wing and you have the moderate wing.
absolutely, and what you're
Unfortunately,
doing,
we're going too far left.
you have a puppet in the White House. He don't know, is mumbling. He's incoherent. He gets, and it's very easy to pull him to the direction that they want. So,
I had a friend tell me the other day on Facebook, good person, but they said they're a Biden supporter, and they said to me, he says, well, the reason this ain't going through, it's about one of the things I made a statement about how, instead of worrying about the American people, he's trying to get rid of Liz Cheney and the other person, censure them, and so be it, instead of worrying about the American people and the stimulus like they promised. And they came up with the statement, well, the Republicans are blocking it. Wrong answer. I said, unfortunately, that's not true. You have the Senate, you have the House, and you have the presidency. You have the ability to do anything you want, and you're choosing to take the lower road and go after Trump, who's already out of office. Yeah, the man should be held accountable for his part. But then again, it's a waste of money. We talk about money.
all right, well, we can get into that debate because I'll gladly say that President Trump should not be impeached again. As you said, it's a wasted money. But number two, I think we can bring up enough Democrats who also called for violence
Oh yeah,
amongst the
AFC.
what's the lady from now I can, Maxine Waters. She said to get in their face, cause a scene. There was individuals in the media that questions why isn't we drone striking our own American citizens? This is insane. This is the left, and the Republicans are just as guilty. But I just wanted to point out because, as I said, they're using this phony money to buy your vote, and you know that. I know that. But let's go over to CNBC and we're going to check it out real quick because, see, everyone heard.
Oh, you can also go by the Philadelphia when they bombed their own people. That actually did happen,
Right. As you can see, President Biden, he reaffirmed that the commitment to $1,400. Now, this is the key. Everyone thinks I'm going to get $1,400, but now all of a sudden we're going to. It used to be $75,000, as it says down here in the thing. If you made $75,000, you would you could get right here. You would be able to get that sum, and if you were a couple, you made $150,000, you would see full payments. Well, now they want to boot it down a little bit. I've heard everywhere. And if you go down here, lawmakers sought to lower the threshold to $40,000 per individual and $80,000 per couple.
So who are you really helping?
Well, the thing is, when President Biden was sitting there saying, you get these two gentlemen into office and we're guaranteeing you're getting your $2,000. Everyone hears that. And see, it's a sad thing because he bought votes. That's what the Democrats are doing. That's what the Republicans are doing.
Did you hear what they're going to try to put in tomorrow for $3,000
for children? Yes.
Children.
And then it's it's $3,600 if they're under the age of 6 and younger, and 6 to 17 they get $3,000.
Yeah,
I did hear that. We don't have the money. Let me tell you something. Dr. Jim Lark, one of the people that comes to our meetings. He's a great guy. He's a scholar. He was a former national chair, but he made the best comment to us once. He said the reason libertarians do not get elected is because we can't promise anybody anything. See, right here, Joe Biden just promised $2,000. Now, that's what. Do you remember just recently you had a lot of progressives on the left saying you said you were going to give us $2,000. Why aren't you giving us $2,000? The idea was the $1,400 plus the $600 to $2,000, but everyone's just hearing what they want to hear.
There you go. The socialist wing wants the $2,000, where you had the moderate idea of the $1,400 plus the $600 is the $2,000. there's a difference in the two in that political party. And like I said, money is paper. That's pretty much what it is. It's not. It doesn't go to gold anymore. And it's just, yeah, it's. And like you said with Dr. Lark, a good point. It's like what I say. I want you to take a look at what, who I raise my money from, and I want you to take a look at how my opponent raises money and who he gets Dominion Power, Facebook, Anheuser-Busch, all these big companies, Amazon gets big donations from them.
Look,
I'm not buying. You're not buying me.
You don't have to be bought. But reality of the thing is you need money to run ads, to put up yard signs, billboards. If some corporation came along and told me, and I'm running for office, and goes, we want to make a $500 donation, Facebook, Dominion Power, AEP, anyone can make a donation. I don't care. If as long as it's legal, make a donation. But just because you're making,
as well as I do, there's kickbacks to that.
Yes, but it's up to you if you're going to give the kickbacks. Gary Johnson, when he ran for governor, he got a $50,000 donation, I believe, from a guy or the company down there in New Mexico, right? And the guy was wanting a bill to be put through. Gary Johnson vetoed it. The guy shows up to Johnson's office. He says, why didn't you vote for that? I gave you $50,000. And Gary Johnson, now, of course, he had the money. He pulled out his checkbook. He said, would you like me to give you back the money? See, right there is how you do it. Take the money. I got to play the game like that. Look, if we were getting, every libertarian was giving you $5, I say, take it. Good. You can do it. But reality is, if someone, group or corporation wants to give you the money, as long as you don't drop your principle, as long as you tell them, look, I'm not going to give you any favors.
But that's the thing. These bigger companies expect the favors.
They expect it. But if you tell them up front, I'm not giving you the favors,
they ain't getting that donation.
Then they don't give you the donation. Now, if they sit here and go, look, if they give you the donation and you say, look, I'm telling you right now, ABC, I'm not giving you any special treatment. Why? I don't understand. Why is that wrong?
That isn't wrong, but as well as I do.
Just because they expect something don't mean you have to drop your principles. Take the money, keep your principle, and then because we're principled is the reason they're not going to give you that option anyway. Correct. But I'm saying, once again, I'm just saying that if a corporation did have this fantasy that they wanted to come and give me money so I can make an open road, take the money. I don't give if it's Dominion, if it's AEP, if it's whoever, take the money. But
my point was on the whole point of principle. They won't ever come to you with that because they're expecting it.
Look, I understand they're never going to come to you, but like I'm saying, Gary Johnson got $50,000 donation. He stayed principled, and again, guess what? They got angry. You make them angry, they may never donate to you again. And I don't know what the election laws is. You might can tell me. I remember when Ron Paul ran that they were saying if you made a donation, you could write a letter to his corporation or the Ron Paul for president, and you could get the $25 back or $100 back or whatever you donated. Do you know if that's anything like that here in Virginia by chance?
I really haven't. I have to look more into that because that's a good question.
Look, once again, if someone offers you $500 and if you sit there and go, I will not take your money, I would say, why? Don't lose your principle, but take their money. I need money. I need yard signs. I need television ads. And
not the issue there. The issue, like I said, comes down to
I understand.
Bigger corporations these days, all they want is to pay you that money so you support and help them out.
No, I know why people make political donations. I'm just saying if someone wants to come and do it, don't sit there and go, I do not want your money. I'm going to run on my $200 I've got in my bank account when you're going to give me
Oh,
$1,000.
you don't think
It's
I'm not?
insane.
You think I didn't take the Charlie Milner and the great group that are
And
down at Hampton
right.
Roads that donate to me? They donated because they see my principle. They donated for the right reasons, and I'll happily accept their donations because they know I'm going to do the right thing with it.
Hey, once
And
again,
I can show them what I used it for.
and once again, I'll take anyone's donation if I ran for office. And the Roanoke Valley Libertarians will gladly take your donations at rvlp.org. Just send whatever you want. Go there, donate. God knows.
If you feel like being in a giving mood, go to Davison for Delegate. That's number 4. Delegate.com.
Or you can do that.
The
I don't
donate
care.
button.
But don't expect anything. You're going to get principled issues sent out. I'm not going to take Moms Demand Action money and then see me sign gun laws or push for more unconstitutional gun laws. You know what I'm saying? Give me the
Absolutely.
money. I'll fucking run with Jesus.
But I get your point, and I know you get mine. So
yes, I do.
It's never this year. It's not about principle anymore.
This is all hypothetical too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be
but the offers for the RVL and donations to me are not. They're not hypotheticals. They're actually we could use your donations.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now the next one. Now that was also done. Now we have another gentleman up in New York. We all know him. Look at that, Andrew Yang is UBI.
Good old Andrew Yang.
And the one thing is, I do like Andrew Yang. A lot of times he does come in and he tries to give ideas. He don't just go, I hate. He seems like a nice guy. He has good. He on his podcast he talked about how when he was running for president,
and he had the Yang Gang. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
It's the name of his group. It was a great name. It had a good flashy talk to it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that he did talk about, he said the media would, when they would talk about him, they would shrink him. So like I think he's 5'10", 5'9". Well, every time that they would talk about him they would do a news report. They would say he's 5'7". Then they would say he's 5'6". He kept dropping.
Then he's
down.
3'9".
Yeah, I don't know why they were doing that to him, but this is another gentleman. Now, UBI, I truly understand it, and it is what it is, but a city cannot do it. I've listened to someone talk, and they said that for UBI to really work, you're going to need a printing press, and that's going to be the federal government. The New York City's not going to be able to push this out like they're expecting.
Oh my God. People like AOC would love this socialist.
Well, if you look here, let's see, right here, it's unclear how. Now, one thing, let me just say this. Here's one thing that New York City did that a lot of the country should be doing. They voted for ranked choice voting. So in this election here, this primary, you're going to be able to actually rank choice vote them. And so in turn, I think that's going to be a terrific idea.
I love ranked choice voting.
I do too.
I think that might help us if our election laws would allow it. That'd be great because that would actually put us as a major party easier.
Well, that would throw away the whole
major party status thing.
Well, no, it would throw away the whole wasting your vote lie that the Republicans and Democrats like to use, because what will be said is, well, if you like Joe Jorgensen, you can vote for Joe, and then your second, and if she don't hit the percentage, your second vote, that vote goes away, and your vote for Biden or Trump comes in. And that's
so let's throw that hypothetical. I want to have a little fun here. So this is maybe get some likes to it. So presidential election. What we had on our ballot, ranked choice vote them there, brother.
Well, Joe Jorgensen would have been number one. I don't like the other two, and then the only people that were all in the state, it would be Joe Jorgensen, and then my vote would have went away.
Okay, but I'll be a little more ballsy, I guess, and say if I had to choose, it would be Jorgensen, Trump, Biden in that order because that's just the way I feel.
Well, Biden, I knew exactly where he was going. I knew what Trump was, and I didn't like what Trump was. So in turn, it would have been hard for me to vote for him. But I knew the bad stuff that was coming with a Joe Biden.
But yeah, like, if the ranked choice voting, you would select it in that order, and I'm not scared to say that's how I would select my order.
Well, if I had to pick between Trump and Biden, yes, I would have probably picked Trump over Biden. But that don't mean if I would have actually have sat down, if we had ranked choice voting, I doubt if that's how I would. I know I would have probably just stopped with Joe Jorgensen because I just didn't. It's hard for me to vote for Donald Trump. I think he came. Just some of his, and look, I don't believe he was a racist. I don't believe he's a Nazi, a fascist, or anything like that. I think the media has done a bang up job pushing him to be, because he's done a lot for the different communities. And
a lot for the military.
A lot of black guys. Well, not just black guys, but the black community. And I know Hispanic community, and I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but there was a lot of Hispanics for Trump. I don't know. The problem that I'm having, and I think we're going to be doing a deep dive in our podcast here in the next week or two. But the immigration bothers me just because it is something that they use these folks as boogeymen and I don't like that. Let's fix the problem. If it's us going down to somewhere in Central America and destabilizing their country, and now they're starving and they're coming up here because they want a better life, it's hard for me to go, hey, what are we doing here? Let's first stop destabilizing other countries. Number one, let's try to get an actual handle on this, because it bothers me with like dreamers who are Americans. I mean, they came here when they were children. It's not like a 3-year-old's going to tell their mother or father who's pulling them across or whatever, saying, hey, this is illegal, I'm going to stay here in my home country. The kids don't do that. They're Americans, and we need to fix the thing. We need to quit using them as these folks as, like I said, as boogeymen, and let's fix immigration. But no, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a deep dive in it, and I want to just talk about libertarian solutions, because I don't think an open border would make sense. I really like Ken Armstrong's idea a lot more, where it would be more entry points. That way, who's coming across. You can make sure if there's, you don't want to have human smugglers. I mean, we need it. Like, if you can go on YouTube and see a slave trade over in Libya, courtesy of the Obama administration. But, that to me, we need to fix that. I can't fix what happened 200 years ago in this country. It sucks. It sucks bad. But what we got to fix right now is things that people that are being harmed right now. I'll go back and revisit that, at a later time. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's just go on here real quick. I know we're at the 24-minute mark, but Andrew Yang, he's making a right here. His freedom dividend was $1,000 a month for all American adults. He pitched that as a presidential hopeful, but now he's going to do $2,000 annual. And that's going to cost the city $1 billion. Now, what do you think people are going to hear when they hear $2,000? Do you think they're hearing annual, or do you think they're hearing monthly?
They're hearing thinking they're getting $2,000 every month.
That's exactly what's happening.
When they're really getting,
now right down here is what
$166 a month.
Correct. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And let me see. I think it's down here further into the article.
There's way too many sixes together.
The article right here. All right. They got it rounded up to 167
because they don't want to use 666.
Right. And then, but look at this. A median rent for a 1-bedroom apartment is $2,300. This is insane. Look,
$2,300. It would take you over a year to get that rent.
Right, so you could pay 1 month of rent for that amount. You know,
a year and 2 months.
But by doing stuff like universal basic income, and then like you're having this fantasy of, well, we're going to raise taxes on the rich. Well, then the rich moves out of the city, and guess what happens? Now the taxes go down. You're hearing all this stuff about now. Hopefully, these idiots coming out of these blue states because of the high taxes, the really hard regulations. Hey, don't vote in the same morons that you're running from. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? But
I should, fresh 166 a month. You can really live on that.
Yeah, and
I guess you can barely buy groceries for a week for that.
Right. So that's I think what we wanted to talk about today was the Democrats are buying votes, and the problem is the money by having so many. If you look here, let me go on here real quick. It said.
Don't worry. When it comes around, if the Republicans back in, they'll be buying votes too. It's not just a Democrat thing.
Oh, no.
It's just a Democrat thing right now.
There we go. Look at that. The U.S. printed more money in 1 month than in 2 centuries.
Whoa. Hold on a minute. That says B. It means Brian. Brian. Nice talk.
Well, or you can be Bitcoin, whichever one. The Federal Reserve printer had cranked up a ridiculous level, but will it really lead to inflation? This story is going to be on. And if you look right here, it said the budget deficit was $864 billion, was larger than the total debt occurred from 1776 through 1979. This is like in 22% of the U.S. dollars are printed. The 22% of the U.S. dollars were printed last year.
You can print all you want, but it's not going to be worth shit pretty soon.
That's what I'm afraid of. And people better wake up right now and start voting Libertarian or voting for an independent that's more liberty-minded, because I can tell you right now, this thing's going to.
I'll even go as far as saying vote for a Republican that's more liberty-minded, and I'll give a shout out to the guy because he's good. He's a good man. He has a lot of good things, which is Izzy Knight down in the Forest area running for delegate. Definitely a hell of a lot more liberty-minded and more towards the libertarian beliefs than Kathy Byron. So.
Well, good luck to him if he can really make it in. But if you want me to tell you the truth, if you've seen the way that the Republican Party does, they march around, they preach about being these Tea Party patriots, and then what will happen is when the actual time to get in there and start becoming the constitutional conservative that you went to Washington, Richmond, or your city council to be. You will fail, and they will be eaten alive. All you have to do is look at people like Justin Amash. If you look at, I know Rand Paul and the Libertarians, not everything Rand Paul does, and I'm not sitting here saying he's the greatest by any stretch of imagination, nor is he Libertarian. He's a Republican, but he goes in there and he tries to do something, and he will be shut down sometimes really fast by his party.
But like what I was saying with him, he's with Soil District and all that. He got into office he's running for delegate now, but yeah, he runs though like a liberty-minded person, which is a lot different than most people don't. They don't have the principles. Most Republicans don't have the principles to have a liberty when you're liberty-minded. Some people like him that are very liberty-minded have principles, and that's the biggest difference. He even had a thing where he does not like pineapple on pizza, but he literally did a fundraiser with pineapple on pizza or pineapple without it, and whoever won, he had to go that way. He actually had to eat pineapple on pizza.
Did he put ham on there too? Because a lot of times
it's it was cheese like capicola and cheese capicola and pineapple. But he did it. He was a man of principle. He did what he said he was going to do. So I believe, like I said, we'll always promote people, but that's one guy I will say that if you're down in that area and you listen to this podcast, that's a definite person to vote for over Kathy Byron.
Oh, absolutely.
Anybody else that might be in the race down there.
Well, yeah, I would rather see him get in there. I assume.
It would kind of be like if Denver, even if Denver Ringelman ran as an independent, he's better than what we have out there right now.
Has there been any talk of him running as an independent for governor?
No talk that I've heard of.
Okay. Well, all right, my friend. Well, I guess we're at the 30-minute mark like normal. I want to go on and
goes fast.
Thank everybody for staying on board up to this point. Like I said, I'm going to change the title to Democrats and Republicans buy your vote with $1,400 funny money.
Funny money. Good way to put it.
That's what it is.
Monopoly money.
Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the video. Click the notification bell so whenever we go live, you can join us and comment and join in. And then what do they do, Dean?
Smash that like button.
And what do they do after they smash it? They like it and they smash this button. You know what I'm saying? And share it with your friends. Hey, and then go to Twitter. And go to @WeAreMaxLib. Follow us there. We'll spread the word there too. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brian.
I'm Dean.
And we will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.